Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be talking about what we feed Sable in a typical day. I know a lot of you have been asking, how we made that decision, what it is, what it looks like. So I just thought I'd walk you through that. So to begin with, we have chosen to keep Sable on a kibble diet. I know that there's a lot of debate between like freeze-dried, air-dried, raw, those fresh food delivery services. I did a ton of research just based upon what we're comfortable with budget-wise, but also what's practical for us. I don't think it's very practical for us to be having a refrigerated or frozen diet for Sable, just with travel and everything. So we opted for kibble, but as I was doing more and more research, I decided I wanted a very high grade kibble. And there's a big debate between grain-free, not grain-free, and you can do your own research on that. We ended up with this guy where we chose Open Farm. We're not at all associated with them. This is just kind of where we ended up. What's cool about their food is that you can feed it in rotations. So just because right now we have the salmon one doesn't mean that I always feed Sable the salmon one. You can opt for the beef one, you can opt for lamb. They have a whole bunch of different options. We do the ancient grains recipe one as compared to their grain-free alternative. You can go either way on that. Just do your own research and make your own decision. We found that Sable's never had an issue with any sort of upset stomach with their food, even though we do the rotations of the different flavors. She actually really likes it, gets excited for dinner. If I could, I would feed Sable freeze-dried. From an expense standpoint, it's just a lot. But we do also opt for their freeze-dried raw surf and turf. They have pork, you name it, they have it. I use this as a meal topper on all of her meals. So to supplement that, we usually give Sable 3/4 cup of her kibble twice a day, once in the morning, once around 5 p.m. And then I just take out a little bit of that and supplement with this. It's just a good way for her to get some more whole foods in her diet that's not in a kibble form. And she actually really likes these. We use this for training too. These are high value reward to her. She absolutely loves them. What's really important with kibble and freeze-dried and all of that good stuff is that you make sure you rehydrate it for every meal. So you can use just filtered water or warm water if you would like them to have a warm meal, and let it hydrate for a couple of minutes before you serve it to the dog. This just kind of like takes away how dry all of this is in their tummy and makes sure that they're still being hydrated enough. In the morning, Sable gets a 3/4 cup of kibble supplemented with this. She also receives 3 pumps of this Native Pet omega oil. It's just like a fish oil. We also have a salmon oil that we alternate between. However, I've learned that you just need to make sure that you're not having it open for too long, the salmon oil. So actually we just switched to only using this one, and then once this one runs out, we'll use only the salmon oil for a while. This just helps her coat, helps give her the nice soft shiny coat that she has, and she really likes the taste. It smells horrible. She loves it. Also at both meals we give her a scoop of pumpkin in her food, kind of mixed in there with the water and the kibble and the topper and the oil if it's in the morning. This just helps keep things moving regularly for her. When we got Sable from the breeder, they were already doing this and suggested that we continue doing this. Pumpkin's great for dogs. Instead of keeping it in a can in the fridge, we actually put it into these little molds in the freezer and then pop one of those, it's just like an ice cube size, into her food every time. Use some warm water, put it over the top of that for the hydration, and it melts it down pretty quickly. She loves the pumpkin. Isn't that right? To feed Sable in, she is a very quick eater, as you've seen from our other videos. She's super food motivated, can't get enough of it. We actually use a slow feeder bowl, so it's this one specifically. I got this on Amazon pretty cheap. It does have to be hand washed every time. It's super important to always wash your dog's food bowl and water bowl, preferably between every use on the food bowl, but definitely at least once a day for both. So we're going to actually give one of these away to one of our followers. If you just leave a comment below, we're going to pick someone in the next week. So a week from the date of this posting. We have lots of different colors, not just pink. We have blue, green, yellow, and pink. You can pick which one. It's great, really helps your dog out. Slows her down from probably eating in 20 seconds to, I don't know, maybe a minute, but awesome to have. So be sure to comment below if you would like to be entered to win one of these. And then the last thing that we make sure we give Sable every day is this vitamin. We alternate between 3 different types, a different one every day. They're by Pet Lab Co. This is just like an all-around multivitamin that we use. She also sometimes gets the probiotic one, and then we have the skin and coat health one. And this is part of our daily morning routine. One of those 3 types goes into one of these 2 balls. It's pretty hard for her to get it out of there, and then she spends probably about 15 minutes getting it out of one of these balls. Good mental enrichment, helps wear her out, and she knows it's part of her morning routine. So I will be sure to link these all below, link these below, and this below. Like I said before, I'm not at all associated with Open Farm. I think they're fantastic. You can trace their ingredients to the source. Every bag has its own label. The options that they have from the freeze-dried to the kibble, they just have every kind of option you could want. They've always been super great customer service. They've answered all of my questions I've had about portion sizes and everything. I would highly recommend them. Again, that's Open Farm. I'll just put a link to their general website below. Not at all associated with that. But as a reminder, Sable's about 35 pounds. She's a pretty active pup, and she gets 3/4 of a cup twice a day of food. She would prefer much more than that. But she does get a handful of treats during our training sessions, but sometimes we do use her food for training just to, build trust and all of that good stuff. So if you have any questions about anything food related or how we ended up on that decision, I think that food for your dog is super specific to your dog, their tummy, their needs, their activity level. Always talk to your vet. Always do your own research to draw your own conclusions on what you think is best. But from a ingredient standpoint, an affordability standpoint, and just the source of ingredients, this is where we landed, and Sable seems to be pretty happy with it. Isn't that right? So be sure to comment below if you're interested in winning one of our slow feeder bowls, and let us know if you have any questions about food. Sabes, can you say thanks for watching? Thanks for watching. Thanks.